Hey everybody, welcome back to the RGR Football Channel. My name's Daniel Harms, back from vacation, and we're going to do something a little bit different today, something I actually haven't done a whole lot of. You guys are going to get to see me use the overthecap.com a little bit with how the Chiefs probably would go about their offseason in ways that I think they will, and maybe some ways I want them to. And what we're going to do is go over some of the free agents that they could bring in, some guys they could let go, things we've all kind of talked about, hinted at, and possibly talked about last night. This is something that, like I said, I've wanted to do for a little bit, and I'm a little more comfortable with this situation. They make it pretty friendly to you to figure out exactly how much cap space you can get. So, what all of this is going to come down to is what I'm eventually going to do is tell you what I would do myself, what guys that I would want to bring in, players that I would want to bring back from their own free agent group, and make it all work out. Now, this is not going to do anything with any type of coaching changes or anything like that. We're just going to talk about basic players and taking everything as it is right now in terms of coaching staff. And at the end of this, when it's all said and done, I'm going to want you all to give me a little bit of players you'd want to bring in, how you would go about restructuring some contracts, maybe give a little bit of feedback on how you would do things differently. This is all, like I said, a new experience. It's a learning experience. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping that you guys can get some better, interesting ways of thinking about this contract situation and these contract situations and how the Chiefs can really maximize the cap space that they can create themselves this offseason and take advantage for another hopeful Super Bowl run. So let's go ahead and get into it. You guys are going to get to see exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it, because I am going to have this all up for you because, like I said, I am using it for the very first time for everybody. And there's a lot of stuff in here that I want to do, and I want you all to see what I'm doing and what I have up. Like I said, I've got free agent trackers here. We're going to go into a little bit of defensive end free agents. Like I said, wide receiver, safety, some corners, and kind of go through the Chiefs free agent list as well and see what we have. Those are all guys right here. You can navigate here. Again, this is the overthecap.com calculator for the Kansas City Chiefs. So right off the top, we know that Patrick Mahomes can be restructured, okay? His contract can be restructured, which creates some cap space, okay? So yeah, that creates the $27.9 million prorated bonus. So just hit that restructure, okay? Boom. There's cap space. Now there is $26.1 million in cap space created by that move for next year. Like I said, this is going to be a fun learning experience for me because I've never done it out before. I kind of messed around a little bit with it, but looking just into 2022, how we can create some space for the Chiefs themselves. Now, we assume that Frank Clark is going to be I imagine post June 1st cut, because it creates almost no dead cap and you still, you get that money. Another guy who I think is no longer going to be on the team is Anthony Hitchens. So let's go ahead and cut him there. Okay, so now we see this number here. If you guys can't see it, it's $54.125 million, okay, of cap space in 2022. So those are the big moves they can make, right? Those things they can do. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because I get to kind of mess around with my own information, things like that. So we imagine Tyreek Hill is going to get extended this offseason, okay? Let's go ahead and extend him, and that creates his extension immediately, okay? So I don't have to worry about that. Oh, actually I do, okay. Non-prorated bonus. Okay, so cap number, boom. Let's just assume that he gets what? How we go? 4-year extension from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. This is all going to be stuff that I'm not very comfortable with yet. So let's just make it very, very easy, okay? Let's just leave this stuff here normal. And let's assume he's going to have average $20 million on his contract. Okay, so 4 years times 20, that is an $80 million contract. All right. So that's, like I said, let's assume that's what we're going to see, a 4-year extension worth $80 million from Tyreek Hill. So let's kind of try to move some of this around. So this is the end all be all. And for the 23, 24, and 25 seasons, I'm just going to make it base salary to make it easier for us to follow, because I'm not great with prorated and non-prorated bonus stuff. All of it is still a learning prospect. So again, if you guys know any of that stuff while I'm going through it, you can actually comment on the video itself so that I can learn with you. All right, so let's just assume. So you have to average $20 million over the course of the next couple of seasons. Let's give them some wiggle room in 23. So let's give them what? $15 million cap hit there. Okay. Let's go into 25 million here. Like I said, this is just basically for assumption purposes. And we can get back to, I believe, 20 million in there. So you have 5, there's 20, 20, 20, 20, boom, boom, boom. So let's just assume his cap number is going to be about $20 million. Okay. If you want, you can bump it out a little bit, but I think it's best that we kind of keep his cap number relatively the same for these next few years in terms of over 15, under 25. I think that's pretty fine. So let's just hit the 4-year. Boom. Okay. And we have that created here. So all of that in his non-prorated bonus, that was already in conjunction for this season. So like I said, I didn't touch it. And that creates, you still have that $54 million in cap space. So I think these are moves that they're going to make. We're going to find out how much Tyreek Hill's extension comes, things like that, all of that nature. But other guys down here probably aren't up just yet. Yeah, we don't really have many. The Chiefs don't have many guys that are ready to get other contract extensions just yet. So let's look into the free agent list over here. The guy on top of the menu, Tyrann Mathieu. Myself, yes, I want to extend Tyrann Mathieu. Okay, so these are your franchise options. You can transition tag him, it's 11 million. You can franchise tag him for 13. Okay, that's what we're looking at. But we know that Tyrann Mathieu probably wants top dollar. Let's look at what we do here. So let's give him a 2-year deal, okay? Let's assume that he wants top dollar. So it's almost $20 million a year, okay? So I'm going to make this basic stuff. I'm going to go 18.5, okay? If I can get in here. 18. Oh, that's not what I want to do. 18. 5, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll do that for, let's just make this, like I said, make it easy both years. Okay. Very, very easy, just so we can all see these numbers. Again, the more I get comfortable with this and the more that I understand prorated bonus, non-prorated bonus, guaranteed salary, all that stuff, I'll get into a little bit more of a basic thing with that. But right now, I just want to see basic cap numbers, cap hits, so you can see. So, all right, let's renegotiate that for Tyrann Mathieu. Now, he is on the roster. Next year, you have 36.3 in cap space with that move, okay? Orlando Brown, you have to have a left tackle, right? For me, personally, I'm franchise tagging him because I'm not yet sure if he's going to be the guy at left tackle going forward now. He had a good season. I think we know that Mahomes understands his strengths and his weaknesses now. I need to personally myself see another year to give him that money, okay? But that also leaves you a little bit with some question marks. So it is a little risky. That also probably means you have to draft a tackle in the first 2 days of the draft, okay? So this is a situation that I'm willingly putting myself into because I think that you can, after this year, tag him, not tag him, give him that year. He's going to prove it that he can be that guy, okay? So I want to get that number a little bit down next year and then look to extend. I know it's a little bit earlier, and as I'm talking about this, I'm almost kind of talking myself out of it. So let's go ahead and do that and just extend him. Let's assume that we can get that $18 million, okay? I am not sold that he's a $20 million tackle. Unfortunately, you might have to pay him that way throughout your 4-year contract. Let's assume he's a 4-year guy, averaging $20 million. But this first year, let's not make it that way, okay? So let's make the average close to 20 million and kind of put that first year's around that $18 million cap hit, okay? That's what you're probably looking at for a top tackle that you're going to have to pay. So, again, we're going to make this basic. Easy to understand. For everybody. So it's just basic numbers across the board. We're looking at stuff. So I think $18 million, that's $2 million over your franchise tagging of him. So let's say the first year is what you're looking at. Okay. All right. So now he's under the cap for the next 4 years. Looking at the rest of your guys, Mike Remmers, maybe a 9th year guy, probably not. I actually think that Andrew Wiley deserves a contract. He's not going to get any of this because he's not worth that. But I do think you can give him another 1 year contract on $3 million. I think he's earned that. He can prove that next year, again, if he has to come in and be your right tackle, if he can do that, then yeah, you go ahead and you pay him a little bit more. But 1 year, $3 million, I think you're probably okay with that. Also, I'm not bringing Charvarius Ward back myself. I'm not right there with him, but Melvin Ingram, I think you have to probably try to get him a 2-year contract, okay? Now, all of this for a guy who is probably worth, what, $9 million a year? Maybe? He's a little bit older, so you're looking at probably $7 to $8 to $9 million. So again, let's see if we go just $8 million, which is going to be his cap number for all of this season. And look, you're already seeing what we have. Okay. Left, what the Chiefs have left in the cap space with just these base numbers. Obviously, there are some other things that you can do to bring some of these down. You also don't have to bring Tyrann Mathieu back. That's a lot of money. Okay. Orlando Brown, again, I think that I personally am bringing him back. I want to bring Mathieu back, but if this is the cap number that he's going to sit at, we probably have some conversation to talk about. Ingram back at $8 million, I think, is a steal. But for sake of argument, let's say they don't bring Tyrann Mathieu back. He's a free agent next year. They want to get younger at safety, okay? So you're looking down this list here of all your guys. I think that that's pretty much it. You still actually have DeAndre Baker. That's not accurate. I am bringing Byron Pringle back. 2 years. What? I'm going to give him $3 million. I think it's a little bit over what he earned. And actually give him a nice little bump here to 5. So you're looking at a 2-year, $8 million contract extension. I think that's probably just fine for Byron Pringle. I think he'll be pretty happy with that. Dorian Daniel walks. I think you can probably get Armani Watts back relatively. Give him a 1 year, 2, maybe 1 actually, because you're looking at a guy who's a special teams or teamer backup. So you're looking at, let's just go $1 million. Bring him back on a 1 year. This is a lot of fun, actually. I'm having kind of a lot of fun going through here. You have some running backs here. I think they'll bring back Darrell Williams, who's, probably around that amount of money. Give him a little bit, maybe a little bit more. We'll go 1.5. All right. Give him a nice little 2-year extension. Okay. I think that you're looking pretty good with the contracts you have. The guys you're going to bring back. I'm not bringing back Ward, Okafor. Probably going to have to bring back Nadi, actually. I do think you need to bring Derek Nadi back because he's such a focal point of that defense in the interior. He's not going to be super expensive. I think you can probably find a way to average about $6 million, and that's going to be set for him. So let's say his first year is $4 million, okay? And here we have, give him a nice little bump to 8, and then back down to 6. All right. Okay, the cap space now is at $20 million. Just say that's what we're looking at, okay? And again, this is not anywhere near what's actually going to happen. They do much more with the actual cap and moving things around and getting your guarantees and your prorated bonuses, non-prorated bonus, your base salary, all that stuff. It all gets checked out. I just want to look at basic numbers for myself, and so you guys can kind of see a little bit here and there. That gives you space to add a huge level free agent if you want, and maybe get enough of your draft picks in. So let's look, okay? Free agent wide receivers, an area where the Chiefs are known to be looking at, okay? Do I think they need a top level guy? No, but that's for sake of argument. Let's kind of look at the market value of an Allen Robinson, who that compares him to, okay? $16.3 million, okay? That's probably what he's going to get paid. Maybe a little bit more, depending on how teams value his end of season antics in terms of, I think he just didn't play. So, on purpose. So, yeah, I think that you can probably look at what he's going to end up being. So, he's a little bit older, 28 years old, going to be 29 next year, not this year. But $16.3 million is okay. You're not Devonta Adams' reach. I think that he's going to want 25 plus per season. But that's just what I'm doing myself. Like I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm bringing in Juju Smith-Schuster, okay? I think that Juju gives you ultimately a guy that can play outside, he can play inside, and you're not going to have to pay him a whole lot. Let's give him a 3-year deal, averaging, actually, no. You're going to give him a 1-year prove-it deal, okay? And you're going to give him, I'm going to give him $6 million. Boom. You played at the end of the year, and you showed you could actually be on the field. So, like I said, I'm going to bring him in. Maybe. If it didn't want to work for me. I'm going to bring Juju Smith-Schuster in, and I'm going to give him a 1-year, I say $5 million or $6 million deal. $6 million deal. Maybe not, if this actually works properly. Yeah, it looks like it's not working. Wonder why. One more time. A $6 million contract with some incentives. Oh, I see what's going on. There might be too many players on the roster. No, that's not possible. Okay, either way, no matter what, let's just kind of cut it out yourself. You cookie cutter it, you get $14 million after that, okay? All right. Let's just go on, assuming Juju Smith-Schuster's on the roster, because for some reason it doesn't want to add him. So that gives you $14 million, okay? If you're looking to kind of bargain shop here, you can, like I talked a little bit about a guy like Quandre Diggs, who would allow the Chiefs to play Juan Thornhill more in the box. I think that's a bit much, to be honest with you. He's 29 years old. The safety market is not what it used to be. I think you can get him more for 9-10 if you're looking that way. But there's also other options. I think specifically Jabril Peppers is a guy that I'm looking at myself. That's what I want to look at. I think you can have him come in and be a guy who can play free safety. He can do everything that Dan Sorensen did, but better. And you're probably thinking in the same realm of possibilities. So we had 14. Look at giving him a 6-year contract, maybe, or not a 6-year contract, excuse me. A $6 million average contract again. To see if it lets me add him. Just on a 1-year, because he's coming off an injury. Yeah, so it let me put him in for whatever reason. So, yeah, let's just kind of see that there. Oh, yeah, and it is counting Derek Nottie for 6. That's interesting. Okay, I see what happened here. It just has Derek Nottie's information in, for some reason, as Juju Smith-Schuster's. Huh. Very odd. Okay, so that number is actually $8 million left after everything. So you're assuming you're bringing it back Nottie. Where is he? See if I can actually sort this out properly. If I can figure out what I did with him. I think we did 4. And then we did 8 and 6. 8. I think that's right. That looks about right. And then you add, yeah. Let me see if I can put him in here now. Get me that 1 year, another probably $6 million. Okay, so it's not working. That's fine. For some reason, Juju Smith-Schuster doesn't want to be on the Chiefs. Whatever. So let's just assume he is, and that's down to $8 million now. You have some wiggle room. Ideally, I think that's what you're looking for. You can go draft your players. You can create some space here and there. Give you some wiggle room to maybe add someone later in the offseason if you need to. And like I said, once again, this whole thing comes down to whether or not Tyrann Mathieu comes back to the Chiefs. Who knows? We're not going to really see all of that. But this is a lot of fun just to kind of mess with and see who you can bring back and all of that stuff. And again, you guys have the ability to do this as well. I want you to tell me what you would do specifically in terms of give me 3 players on the Chiefs free agent list from last season that you would bring back and 3 free agents that you would want to bring to the Kansas City Chiefs. I know that there's been a lot of talk about Emmanuel Ogbah, things like that, but just give me a level playing field, a plan that you guys would execute, and let's just have fun with it. Like I said, this was my first time using it, so there's going to be a lot of other things that we can do that I can do. Hopefully, I know that you took all this in, you can kind of see some of the cap issues and cap strengths that the Chiefs can actually create this year. So, like I said, it's fun. I'm going to probably find myself using it a lot more, and I hope you guys do too. I want your guys' plans down in the comments. Make sure you're tuning in. Tomorrow, I'll have another draft prospect film review. I think I'm leaning toward Daxton Hill. We'll see what it comes down to at the end. And then don't forget, Thursday is Ryan and Seth, Chief in the North. We'll still have content for you guys every single week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And once again, have a great day.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.